Now, we've all experienced this at one point or another. Kim, I know you have a very specific question for Lawrence.
Oh, would you like me to say it right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, let's wait.
So, okay,
Yeah, let's
you
wait
guys.
till the show's over, and then you can ask.
No, let's do it. Okay. So one time I went to a store and I bought a dress. And
like a caftan, a lovely caftan.
Good story, good story.
And you guys, I wonder if this ever happened to you, because it really has happened to me. And I didn't realize that I paid for it. I did pay for it, despite what people are going to say. And I went home and I was buying it for a specific event. So what I did was I put it on and I was ready to walk out. Of course, I was running a little bit late, so it's like, oh my gosh. And the zinger, the was on.
Yeah.
I wore it to the event. I was
No,
not.
you did not.
Yes, I did.
You wore it with the thing?
I wore it. It was in the bag. No one really noticed. I wore my clutch.
Somebody did notice. They just thought, poor thing.
No,
Kim Douglas is stealing her
Kim
clothes.
Douglas stole.
No, wait, what's
I
the
will
question?
tell you,
What's the question?
I went off.
Oh, there's a question.
It was in a hotel, and I did start binging at
When
some
you
point.
went to a hotel party?
Somewhere, yeah.
Stop it.
So I wondered how I could do it again, and how
she
you
could
get it
deactivate
off,
it. Get it
and
off.
how I could not go
Right.
off if I'm in a party, and how I could, like, I was thinking of doing
Wrench
a
it
hammer.
off.
No, some of those things, they have ink in them.
I know, but
No.
here's the reality. Those security tags are put on those garments
For a purpose.
so people don't steal. That's
But
why
I
you
didn't
have.
steal
No, you didn't. I know you didn't. I know you didn't steal. I know you didn't steal, but the whole point of that is to put the security tags so nobody walks out. And you're right. There are those that have ink. I don't suggest ever trying to get it off. More times than
That's why I wore
often,
it.
you will destroy the garment.
Right. Yes.
More times than not, you will have the ink released and completely destroy the garment. I would say, A, go to another garment and try something else, or B, and then take it back so
Yeah, I
you
did
can
the
return
next
it
day.
properly.
Is that a
Yeah.
fashion don't to wear an outfit with the censor tag on it as an accessory?
Kim Douglas probably turned it into an accessory.
You know,
did.
So-
I did.
some are bigger than others. They could have thought you were on house arrest.
You know what?
Instead of the ankle bracelet,
it was very
she's
in.
wearing it here.
It was very in for
But
a
let me
short
let me
time.
also just say this quickly. When you buy a garment, no matter what time frame you have, make sure before you leave
Yeah.
the store, the sales associate will check it, but make sure you always do a mental note to check that it is removed.
True.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry with something like that.
Yeah.
Paige,
Yes.
your question.
That actually
Lawrence.
happened to me too. I went to Australia,
Oh, no.
and I took it to every store there. Nobody had the same,
Yeah,
the same
gizmo.
thing. But let's just say, maybe even it doesn't have that. Let's say you wear something, not that they've ever done this myself, but you wear it, then decide you don't want to keep it. Is it okay to return it after you wore it?
I have my own rules, but let's ask somebody who worked in retail for a very long time, Lisa. If Paige came to you with this story, how would you have responded?
Well, first of all, now that everything's online, 2/3 of the online buys are returned in store. So, right?
Yeah.
Right? So that
Wow.
takes away, commissions and time, and
Yeah.
it gets really difficult for the industry. What was your question?
If I wear it and decide just it wasn't for me, and I want to return
And
it.
you left the tag on?
Well,
Yeah, the tag has to be on. Then you
Sure.
take it back.
And you
Yeah.
didn't, yes.
if you are honest about it, see, I think it's all in the style of how
Yes.
you show up to deliver. If you don't make a scene, if you're not being demanding, if you're not being negative, and if you're succinct. Is that not
Yes.
true?
Yes,
But
absolutely.
we would always look for, back before the censor tags, the little ribbons. And even today, if you cut your ribbons out, don't try to bring it back because they are not having it.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
You're right about that.
And Lisa pointed on something very specific. It is all case by case.
Case by case.
I would
Yeah.
say when returning something, no matter what it is, find the sales associate that you worked with initially.
Yeah.
If you can't find the sales associate, go to the store manager and always plead your case. Honesty, more times than not, will always win.
I think that's true because they do have discretion to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And let's be real, the stores that take things back, I love those stores. I'm loyal to
too.
them.
Me
I really
too.
value that.
And there are some stores that will take things back for 4 or 5 months
know.
Yes.
later.
Even if you didn't buy it there.
They will.
Like they used to take snow tires back to a clothing store. They'd say, okay, we'll give you a refund.
Take the tires. We don't sell them, but we'll take them. Sophie, what about you?
Well, I will also say that a British accent helps.
Yes.
It gets in
And
the
who
way.
has one?
When you're from Brooklyn, right,
Wisconsin.
yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Okay, good. Now, my question, Lawrence, is that if I have a garment that I really want to return, but then I look for my receipt, because they always say you have to have the receipt, but I can't find it, what do I do?
Always have the credit card that you purchased the item with.
good.
Also take your driver's license. So they have security. And then once again, go back to the same sales associate and go back to the same register. Everything is put into a register. And the history is logged in there.
I did not know that.
And also shop at a store that does the best with returns. Nordstrom's has no return policies. They are very committed to one-on-one making sure customer service is always key. So I'm not saying you go out and buy things and get them dirty and then return it.
No.
But they have the best return
I will
policy.
say
Neiman
one
Marcus,
thing.
same thing.
At our TCA event, Julie wore this beautiful dress, and it had all these clasps down the front.
Yes.
And it was wonderful. She looked great. In fact, somebody else was wearing the same dress there.
Oh, wow.
When she sat at the dinner table, because she sat, they kept kind of undoing, and she kept having to do it. And she went back and said there's a design flaw, even though she wore it, and they immediately gave her a refund.
That's
for it.
amazing.
And it happens like you will buy something, like this was purchased. It was a great jumpsuit, right?
Yeah.
And then when we got it back to the house, we realized that it was torn in the back.
Right.
And there are certain times that you're out, you're shopping, you don't realize
quick.
that, and you do it quickly. It's like impulse buying.
Yeah.
Just go back to the store. Have whatever you need, whether it's a receipt, a driver's license, or the credit card. And again, it's case by case. Be honest and tell the truth.
So almost honesty is the best policy here.
Always.
So what about this? Because there are times if you're spending a lot of money on clothes
Right.
on a big price item, you wear it one time, and for whatever reason, maybe the fabric is very delicate and sensitive, like silk, it frays, you get a hole in it, you've worn it for maybe 2 hours at your event. Is it okay to go back and say, look, I just paid a lot of money for this, and look what happened?
100%. The more money you spend, the better your chances are of getting a refund for that item, because you've put the investment in, and they're going to, again, it's back to that same tried and true rule. They're going to know if you're lying.
Yeah.
They do,
Yeah.
and
They're
you.
gonna always
But more importantly, as you said, you know if you're lying.
Well, you can tell when there's no eye contact.